The Lobinni has arrived just in time for me to show you guys before, well, the first of the two sales coming up in June. Yeah, typical AliExpress fashion. They're having two seemingly good sales very close to each other in June. But yeah, I thought I'd get a few watches in prior to the sales, starting the summer sales, and this is one of the first ones to arrive. It is a sort of date just homage with a days of the week and a date of the month complication on the dial. 8,000 series Miyota movements inside these watches. I'll put all the details for the movement and the dimensions on the screen. Yeah, I've unboxed it. The packaging is nice enough, quite interesting packaging. It was well protected and I'm quite impressed so far, actually. But then I think I'd want to be. $155 is what I've paid for this watch. It looks like it's going to be discounted in the upcoming sale. But yeah, in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this watch, focusing on the good and the bad, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to start with the good. It's one of their more simple watches. They have a tendency to produce quite elaborate, fancy, sort of over-the-top watches that on the whole don't interest me. But their more simple designs I really like, and I was really quite taken back by this one when I first saw it. That's why I've bought it to review, because I really do like the look of it, and now that it's in my hand, I'm not left disappointed at all. I think it looks fantastic and actually feels like a beautifully made watch. The bracelets and the clasp reminds me a little bit of the Datejust homage that San Martin have made. In fact, the whole watch does, apart from the design of the dial. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's potentially some connection there. It feels actually very close to sort of San Martin quality, but then I've said that all along. It's been a couple of years since I've reviewed Lobinni watches, but yeah, when I had them in the past, I always said they were beautifully finished, and they really, really are. It feels like a quality watch. I like the colour options as well, although I thought I'd ordered the other one. I obviously was feeling a little bit more conservative and ended up with a sort of silver dial version. I was expecting the colour of the complication just under the 12, the days of the week complication, to be a little bit more colourful. But yeah, overall, I'm actually quite impressed with how it looks and how it feels. I'm impressed by the specifications as well. Sapphire crystal, 316L stainless steel, solid links, solid end links, split pins, but screw down case back and a pull push crown. So only 50 meters of water resistance and split pins. I mean, they're okay, aren't they? Better than pin and collar, I think. The clasp is nice, really discreet, isn't it? Again, it just reminds me of the clasp that San Martin were using. Really discreet, and yeah, it feels like a good quality clasp. Everything that you interact with on this watch feels nice enough. The Miyota 8000 series movements are good enough for watches in this sort of price bracket, so the crown action feels nice enough. There's not too much jangle on the bracelets. Yeah, it feels sturdy, looks good. It's not oversized. Yes, sometimes when watches like this turn up, they end up being massive. It's perhaps a touch bigger than I personally would prefer, but I think it's a good size for most people. And I'm happy with how it looks on my wrist. Yeah, very, very comfortable, not too big, not too heavy. So yeah, overall I am impressed, but there are a few things that I think should have been done slightly differently. That complication under the 12, it's clear that it was sort of intended to be a sort of moon phase complication. That's how they tend to look. So why they would leave that like that when they're then going to print the days of the week on the rotating complication underneath. It's a bit of an oversight, I think. And there's English and Chinese visible at the same time, which, yeah, I'm not a fan of either. Lobinni on the dial below the hands is an interesting one. Of course, it's sort of got to be there, I guess, because of the complication above the hands. But then engravers. What is it with this engravers thing that they seem to insist on having written everywhere. I don't know, but yeah, engravers, not a fan of that. The date complication as well, just above the 6 has a white background. The background to the days of the week complication under the 12 is a sort of bluey colour. Very nice dial though, and beautiful sunburst effect, very nice applied indexes, very nice hands. I mean, there's a few little weaknesses, but yeah, not major weaknesses, not a lot of weaknesses. Enough to put many people off, I think. I don't expect for 1 second this is going to be an incredibly popular watch, but it's definitely an interesting one, isn't it? And I'm pleased to see Lobinni producing some slightly, more simple watches. Stuff that I think a few more people are going to be interested in. So yeah, I mean, a good example, a good watch from Lobinni. Probably one of their better ones, to be honest. Just a couple of details on the dial. Not fantastic, but yeah, actually, I'm quite impressed, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm going to give this one, I don't know, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7.5. No, 7. Yeah, I'm going to stick to 7 out of 10. Yeah, what would you give it out of 10, guys? Let me know in the comments section. And if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments section or email me, oldmantimegary@gmail.com. Fingers crossed, I'll have another one turn up soon. Another watch, that is, that I've bought from AliExpress. I'm waiting on a couple, so yeah, make sure you sub, guys, like, and hit the bell notifications icon, and then you won't miss out on future uploads. Enjoy the rest of your evening.